And out of the CDBG one, we had 9,900 of admin for SWOTA, so that left us 124,950 for construction. And under the REAP, we was able to pay the engineering and plus part of the construction. So,
I'm glad it's done.
okay. Did everyone sign on the public hearing notice?
I will.
Okay,
We've got it.
that's all I have.
Well, again, thank you, Clyde.
Okay, all right, thanks. Bye-bye. Okay, thank you.
Golden, here.
Okay, we have a quorum. Will you please stand for prayer and pledge? Dearly Father, we thank you for this evening. Father, I just pray you just pour your blessings upon this town, Father, and I pray you give us guidance and direction to lead this community in the direction that you wish for it to go. Father, we thank you for all that you've done. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, consent agenda, motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Hammond,
Yes.
Cooley,
Yes.
Golden, yes.
Okay, now's time for remarks. Remarks or inquiries by the audience not pertaining to any item on the agenda, 2-minute time limit. Corey, can you? Okay.
I sent the city council a complaint last month on the city attorney, and apparently nothing was done. So my deal is, y'all can either do something, or I'm gonna go to the news media next, and everybody else and stuff. What he did was totally wrong. Y'all guys know it. He needs to be fired immediately. So if there ain't a special meeting for him to be fired by the end of this week, I'm gonna go to all the news media that I can get to. I'm also sending letters to the Attorney General, to the OSBI, and I've got a complaint filed already against him with the Bar Association.
Thank you. Okay. Next, we'll do the financial report for July of 2025 by the city manager.
Okay, in front of you, you have your financials. And we did, our auditors came in today and closed out our fiscal year, so that's done. I'll have numbers on that tomorrow so I can see a little bit clearer of where we stood in the ending of last year. So I really can't do a whole lot of showing us the trend and those kinds of things, but I'll go over, I'm gonna do year to date. So in our general fund side, for 2025 starting, the revenue was $234,415.75, and last year at this time we had $177,502. So we have a 32% increase. Our expenses are currently $234,948.86. Last year at this time it was $171,706.32. I want to explain a little bit. We all sat down and talked about why we spent so much money in the first month, and we paid a lot of our bulk items. We paid the county that $100,000 up front, so that makes it look like we went over our expenses, but we paid that in full for the year. So we did go over, but it was due to that. And that was a lot of the reason of why I said for us not to spend until we had our fiscal year closed, because we were paying a lot of these items out in bulk and had the outstanding invoices regarding the Welcome Center. So for the beginning of July, it looks like we went over expenses, but that's 99% of the reason was we paid out the county for the dispatch in full this year instead of by month. So our sales tax for the month of July is $56,330.91. It's up by 15% from last year. The use tax is $9,964.95. It's up by 2% from last year. Our easement lease revenue is the same because we transfer from the MUA side. Our transfers are the same. They are 3% less than last year due to we're not transferring the same amount that we were last year, of course, because last year we were transferring from the MUA side to the general fund side for the dispatch. So since we're not spending as much for that, it shows that 3% decrease. So overall, for those transfers, we saved about 3%. You'll see the insurance, we added the insurance in there just due to the fact of the hailstorm that we had. For the month of July, we received that $33,100.66 in insurance money. That was for the windshields and not the Welcome Center, because that was the month before. So I believe that was for the windshields and I think one of our roofs, because the other ones will be later on in here. But the insurance money is $33,000. Our alcohol beverage tax is $6,339.49. It's down by 25% from last year. On the MUA side, the revenue is $931,508. It shows that we have doubled, tripled in revenue, and I noticed right before we started the meeting today, our transfers for July did not get done, so it's making it look like we have a lot of money going on in the MUA side, but we did not do our transfers. That's another reason why we were also pretty low. But now that we've got our, we waited to do a lot of the things for our clerk to come in so she could learn and train at the same time. So that's why it looks like we made all this money on the MUA side. We just haven't done the transfers yet. The expenses for the MUA side is $171,782.18, down by 12% from last year at this time, which is great. And that has a lot to do with, like I said, we stopped a lot of anything from being bought unless it was an emergency. In our electric revenue for July, we made $549,681, up by 12% from last year. Our water revenue is $133,422.69, also up by 11% from last year. That has to do a lot with our new meters, because the project is completely done with the new meters, and those new meters, the purpose of those meters were to catch, since we had such old meters before, it catches all the usage that we should be catching, and so I believe that that's why our water revenue is higher from last year this time. The wind revenue is about the same, increased about 0.5%. Sanitation, of course, is the same, increased about 4.2%. Wastewater stays the same, the recycle fee is the same, and our penalty revenue is down by 2%, which is good. Not good as far as our revenue part, but good as far as people are paying their utility bills on time. So we didn't have to charge very much penalty revenue this time in July. So that's good. So people are coming in and paying and being on time. And that's about it right now. I don't have too much to give, like I said, because of the auditors came in and did our closeout today. They're on time. They're more than on time. So they did all of that closeout today. So next month, we should have a little bit better standing of where we left the fiscal year. Our clerk is seeing the financial side and how all that works, and how I was explaining how important it is to where, yes, telling people, our departments, that we can't spend right now. She's starting to see why, and that is because there is, if there's error in there, your error is going to make it look like we have more money until it gets fixed and our auditors fixes it, then we'll have an actual number in what we're working with. So she's seen a lot of that today and has for even last week. So that's all I have to report on the financial side for this month anyway.
All right, thank you. Police report by the chief of police.
Good evening. We had a fairly busy month. We took 29 actual reports. They range from assaults, burglaries, burglary from vehicles, drunkenness, extortion and blackmail, fraud, larceny, several different sex offenses, threats and intimidation, obviously some traffic, vandalism, and some warrants. From that, we ended up getting charges filed on 5 of those. 4 people ended up getting arrested. Other things are in the works from there. For our radio logs, we took 483 calls for service. That's up again from, well, it's not up from last month, but it's up from normal, about 50 calls more than normal. We had a lot of 911 transfers, an accident hit and run, accident no injury, 4 business alarms, 3 residential alarms, 13 animal calls, 2 breaking and entries, 2 burglaries in progress, 5 disturbances, multiple dog bites, 5 domestic disputes, EMS calls, extra patrols, 32 follow-ups, harassment calls, 215 requests for information, motorist assist, 3 noise disturbances, 9 reckless drivers, so on and so forth. Do you have any questions? Cool. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Fire report by fire chief.
We had a total of 17 calls for the month. We had 6 grass fires, 4 lift assist, 4 landing zones, 1 gas leak, and 2 motor vehicle accidents. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Okay. Number 9. Discuss and possible action regarding accepting the best and most reasonable bid to contract with either Aberdeen Enterprises, Brandon and Purdue, or NBC to manage and collect delinquent utility bills and outstanding municipal court tickets, adopting the corresponding resolution for the chosen company.
So last month, we had NBC down here and spoke and on what they offer and what they all do to help us collect on these past due utilities and unpaid citations. I have 2 people in the audience to come and speak, and that is Aberdeen and then Brandon and Purdue. So I'll let you guys come in and talk. Come up and talk.
Hello, I'm Rob Schaffner with Aberdeen Enterprises. We specialize in collecting unpaid court costs and fines for counties and municipalities here in Oklahoma. We've been in business for 21 years. We currently serve 22 counties and 168 municipalities here in Oklahoma. A lot of this falls under a state statute, so it doesn't cost your community anything. It's passed on to the defendants and to the consumers that have been irresponsible in paying in a timely manner. So we just help to get in touch with them and get them back in either paying on their utility bills or back in compliance with the judge's orders from their citations or whatever other what the judge has ordered them to pay for the most part. We also do the tax intercept for you at no additional cost. So you have 3 pieces of information you need to be able to do the tax intercept. One is you have to have the name and amount, but you also have to have a social security number. Your police officers probably aren't asking for socials. So we have access to full social security numbers when we do our deep skip, which we skip everything that comes into our office. It doesn't matter if it's 30 days old or 35 years old. So there's no statute of limitation on court cost and fines, and it doesn't fall under the Fair Debt Collection Act since it is not consumer debt. So I'm currently collecting on speeding tickets that are over 30 years old for the Highway Patrol. So it never goes away. It's always owed. And there's some people think that the older stuff is harder to collect. I actually think it's easier in a lot of ways because a lot of the times we have their social security number already, because if you live in Oklahoma most of your life, you might remember that your driver's license number was your social security number. So we already have that, so it makes it easier to track people down. It also, a lot of times if they haven't been contacted in a number of years, they might have been 16 years old driving through town and got a speeding ticket. No one's ever contacted them in 30 years. I find them and give them a call, and it's just like, you could have a possible warrant out for your arrest. I've got surgery tomorrow, I really can't get arrested, you take American Express. So it's pretty much that simple sometimes on having to collect those older fines. We help facilitate that and send that to you. Any money we collect, we send all of it to you every 2 weeks, the 1st through the 15th, and then we send you what we've collected, and then from the 16th to the end of the month. Then you remit back to me my portion of that. That way your balances always go to 0. There's nothing to write off. Your auditors will love that when they come in. So you're always paid first also. So try to make it as easy and convenient for you as possible. Your court clerk has access to all of the cases in real time through our portal system. So they can see what's happening on every status that they have, every case that you've placed with us. So if you don't want us to collect on something, then don't send it to us. You know your constituents better than we do, so if there's a situation where you know that you don't want this person to go to collections, then it's not you don't send everything to us. You choose when you want to send it to us and what you want us to collect on. So, are there any questions or anything I can answer for you at this time? Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Brent Sherrod with Purdue, Brandon, Fielder, Collins, and Mott. I'm a relative newcomer to this business. I've only been doing it 46 years. The firm's been in existence for 54. We're a professional collection law firm. We specialize in the collection of delinquent receivables for city schools. In this case, would be your city. We do use all the collection tools that are available in the state of Oklahoma. We're in 9 states, but in the state of Oklahoma, or this state, if you're allowed to text, we send letters, we make phone calls. Of course, all this is okayed by your staff. If you want us to not use all these tools, we won't use them. If you turn us loose, we will do everything possible to collect these. That's the only way we pay. As Rob pointed out, our fee's 25%. In Oklahoma, you can go up higher than that. But as Rob said, it's an add-on. So nothing we do costs you a dime. It's by the people, the debtors who chose to ignore you, not respond to your letters. They're the ones that pay our fee. We have also what we have is called our account tracker, where your staff can look on the account tracker at any time You can look up Brent Sherrod, see how many letters were mailed to Brent Sherrod, how many phone calls were made, see all the collection work that we do. And I know this never happens because all your debtors are probably very honest, but if they call into our collection department and they say, well, we were told at Mangum that if we paid on Tuesday before 4:30, we'd get 50% off, or they would have something not so kind to say about your city manager, we record those calls. You can listen to what the actual conversation was, or if your debtor tells you, Ms. Moore, that we were not professional, you can listen to that call, see what was exactly what was said as a backup. We have several different ways that we can get the money. And you would tell us how you want to do it, whether you want us to send it all to you, if you want us to collect it, or you want to be able to collect it here at the court and let us collect also. So you have a choice. We don't come in with a cookie cutter program and say, this is how you got to get the information to us. We sit down with you, we give you all the options and say, which do you want? You want A, B, D, and E? You got it. If you don't want the rest of them, we don't do it. We let you tell us what you want to do. You okay the letters before they go out. You okay the dialogue that our collection center uses. We have an office in Oklahoma City, but your accounts, if you decide to use us, will be collected out of the Amarillo office. We have a call center there. We have 4 attorneys. We have 8 support staff. We have 9 IT people in there. And if the situation ever comes up where you need somebody here to help you for any reason, if there's a help transforming, getting the information to us, we can send somebody here that'll be in your office and sit down with you. That doesn't happen a lot. Both Amarillo being 2 hours and 15 minutes away, depending on what time of day you go and how fast you want to go, we can have somebody here to help you. We also do your tax intercepts for you. One thing that we do, we go a little farther. If you provide us with a ticket that doesn't have a Social Security number, we do our skip tracing and we help you locate those Social Security numbers, because as Rob pointed out, you've got to have a Social Security number before OTC will do the intercept. And just like Rob said, we'll recover all your money, and we'll let you know. We'll give you a report if you decide that you want your money weekly, monthly, bi-weekly, however you want it. You tell us what you're going to do. Again, it's we let you tell us how you want to do it. Again, being a law firm, we have certain rules and regulations that are regulated by the Oklahoma Bar Association, so we'll never ever do anything that goes over the line. We will do everything we can to legally collect, and then we won't go any farther. If you ever have any questions, if you do need an attorney to come over here, I'm not an attorney. So anything you say about attorney is not going to offend me one bit, I promise you. But if you need an attorney over here, they can come over here and sit down with you and visit you. I would like to say something about Rob's company. If you decide to pick them and not me, they're a very reputable company. I know Rob and his father. They do a very good job. As I've told Rob several times, I wish they weren't so good. It'd be easier to compete against him. But if you decide to use him, you can't go wrong. I feel like we're a little better, but you can't go wrong with either one of us. I don't know anything about NBC, so I can't say anything. I'm not going to say anything bad about our competitors. I'm just being honest with you about what Aberdeen does. Does anybody at this time have any questions about what we do? It's basically we both basically do pretty much the same thing. It's just if you want a law firm, you want a collection agency, is what it boils down to. So, does anybody have any questions? I'd like to thank you, Ms. Moore, for allowing me the opportunity to be here and to say a few words, and thank you all very much for giving me a few minutes to speak.
Thank you. Irma, do you have?
I've known, we worked with Brandon and Purdue when I first started working for the city. I'm not too sure what happened and what stopped. I worked with them for maybe 5 years, and then I think it's when I stopped doing the court is when they stopped getting the past due tickets. But they only worked for court before. So both of you do court and utilities?
Yes. We'll do utilities if we have the court.
And that's a lot of it, is that we have so much in unpaid utilities and so much, it's starting to be about the same amount in unpaid traffic tickets. I will say our police department has done amazing in getting people to come in and pay in the last year or two. I mean, the revenue for that has increased, I mean, excessively. I mean, they've done a really good job of getting people to come in and pay. And I think it's the way that they handle the ticket and say, if you pay it before, if you do this before, and people really do come and pay. These are, you're talking about 300, maybe 400,000 in just court unpaid tickets and 5+ in utilities. So I've worked with them before. I met Rob at, I believe it was OML, or maybe it was, I think it was OML when I first met. And we just need to get back into that to get some of these unpaid utility bills and citations that haven't been paid.
Aberdeen, what was is yours 25% too?
Sort of a loaded question. So 25% of each payment that comes in, but it's actually at the state statute of 35%, which is allowed to be added on.
I think with Brandon and Purdue, before we were using an additional court software, and I think it was like $1,800. I'm not too sure what the amount was, but it was Jayhawk. And we used Jayhawk before, and then when we were able to use Otis here, we dropped Jayhawk and saved that money and just used the Otis. So that's the real important question. Can they work without using an additional software, because we would have to purchase another software to send them their files and whatnot.
Can they both do that?
The answer is yes, I'm sure, for both of us. We have, I'm not speaking for you, Rob, I apologize, but we both have a lot of clients in the state of Oklahoma, and we have a lot to use Otis, I'm sure you do too. So whatever software you use is not an issue. Again, I'm not speaking for you, Rob, please understand, but the type of software that you use is not an issue. It hasn't been, like I said, we're in 9 states, we've worked with about 67, 68 different software companies. We've never had an issue getting results. So.
Yeah, we can take it, the Otis file, it's just his warrant report on Otis. He can set that by date and be able to send that to us. We manipulate the information once we get it. Otis doesn't allow him to export anything out of the system the way it's done, but you can copy that report into an Excel, drop it into Excel. It looks really crazy. It's the first time your court clerk or your chief does that, he's going to think this is not going to work.
Oh, well, I
Boxes
usually
are all
get my
different sizes and crazy, but it works.
I usually get my IT guy and I say, I don't want it to look crazy, and he helps me out with that. Because our auditors are the same way. When we send them, they want it in Excel form. That also comes into our packets that we have up front going into the billing side, is why we require a lease agreement or an ID and a social, because it all comes together with, that's what they need to come and collect for people who don't pay. So
I've slept since then, but when NBC was here last time, do you remember, is their software the same? Could they use the same, I mean, we wouldn't have to do.
She said we wouldn't have to have the additional software. I'm not too sure how it works with the utility bills. Do we need an additional software, or does that kind of run the same way? We send you.
Same way, yeah.
We've never had the utility bills, so I've never done that. I did the court before. I actually was the one that sent it to Brandon and Purdue's place.
We
before.
probably have way more utility collections.
Well, both of them are getting a scary number.
You said there was, like, what'd you say, 300,000 and?
That was the last time that I looked at it. It's
And the-
probably been plus.
And that was in citations?
Yes,
And then you said?
yes.
800 in utilities?
500,
500?
500,000
So it's
in,
800 total?
Almost 600,000 in utility bills is what we have currently right now, because I had to get that number for the auditors the other day. Our court, like I said, it has stopped. It's not as bad. because of the police department, just getting people to come and pay. And now that we have the 2 free beds at the jail, the guys are like, you can either pay or go to jail. So everybody pays, and that's great. So that has actually gone up a lot with that. So we're talking about maybe in the last 3 years or so that we have that number. It's not as bad.
And a lot of that, just to be clear, was actually before
Right.
Lance took off. I think it was like close to 250,000 when Lance took over.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, I
know,
think it was like 250, because we got the number for the previous commission, but it was almost 250,000. Right now, it's sitting almost to 300,000 in unpaid citations.
I just know at the court clerk's office, it's so much easier just to turn them over to collection.
It is.
Let them do the calling, let them
It
do
is.
I don't have time to do it. and
It is.
So I think it'd be a good thing for us to.
Yes, it is. And I think that that's where a lot of our, with our clerks up front trying to collect for us, it makes them into that hostile clerk up front, because yes, they're trying to collect on these. So if we do hand it over, it also takes that away from our clerks.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with either one. Or either 3, or whatever ones, yeah. I don't wanna leave NBC out.
Carolyn, do you have anything?
We don't mind.
I am more.
I'll speak for him.
Okay. I will say with when I started to talk with Aberdeen at the conference, I said more of, I want somebody more one-on-one to be able to call and say, hey, did you get this? Can you help me with this? I didn't mean to send this, versus going, and I'm not saying that they are, I'm just saying I don't want to call a 1-800 number and wait, or somebody to call me back, or 3-4 weeks have passed by and I still don't have help or something. So I'm looking for something more one-on-one, where I can call them up and say, help me out here, or I seen this person just something a little bit more one-on-one is what I'm looking for.
Can I address that, or am I in line if I address that
Yeah.
question? If you decide to use this, we'll give you an AE, your own AE account executive. You'll have the ability to call her anytime, her or he, and obviously I'll leave a business card with my mobile number. If you can't get hold of me, you can get hold of me anytime. That's another personalized account. Rob probably has the same situation.
Her name's Corey.
I think so. I think you told me about Corey.
Yeah. And an advantage I have, I think, is Brent, and it's a pretty good Brandon and White. I mean, they do a great job. But part of what, I'd say the one advantage I might have over him is that I do have 168 municipalities here in Oklahoma. So, and I've got a lot just kind of this area alone. So a lot of times, I might have had contact with them recently, or even 15 years ago, and still have that information to be able to try to get them back in a payment plan pretty quickly. A lot of times when I take over collections from somebody else, or if they've never done collections, sometimes up to 10% of that list we've already had contact with someone in the state. So that can be an advantage, just because we've been doing it for so long and have so many. And the other thing is a lot of times I'm not looking for John Smith. I'm actually looking for that enabler that's going to take care of it. I know they're doing the same thing. So a lot of times, we do that skip tracing. On the utility side, I have to be really careful when we have to send it to where we need to go. But this is all public information on the court side. And so a lot of times it's like, we don't really know who real Johnny is, but it looks like his mom and his aunt have lived here for 20 years. We can send that information to him. And that is really good to get that to a family member sometimes, because the aunt doesn't want to be embarrassed here locally. She's going to find that person and make it fair. So,
When do we
and
get
help
to-
do that for us, so.
When do we make a decision on this?
we can today.
Okay, my question was, when do we need to make a decision on this? Who we go with, what we do, or can we discuss this a little bit more?
Well, any item that we have, you got three options. Option one is you pick one tonight, right? Option number two is you say you're not interested in any of them. Or option three is you can always table an item if you want longer time to consider and review the proposals.
Okay.
Lisa, do you have anything you want to? Lisa, do you have anything you want to add?
No, I
Sorry.
do, I don't. I think it's a great idea. I
Yeah.
mean, so any of them would be a great option.
Okay, a question. Have you worked with one or the other or both of them?
I've worked with Brandon and Purdue before.
Okay, all right.
I've worked with, or I currently work with NBC.
Okay. Well,
Do we have a motion of one of the three that Corey mentioned?
I really would like to table it. I really
Me too.
want to look into these two other ones, really, into. So can we table it and?
If you put the word motion from the word table.
Can I make a motion to table this?
And I will second it.
Okay.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Hammond,
Yes.
Pooley,
Yes.
Golden, yes.
Thank you guys for coming.
Thank
Once
you.
again, thank you all very much. for the
Thank you.
opportunity to come speak to you. This
Thank
is
you.
important to both of us. And
Yes.
again, if you choose one of us, it's a win-win situation. It
Okay.
doesn't cost your city a dime for our services. We don't collect, we don't get paid. And I've enjoyed eating 2 or 3 times a day, things like that. So, again, thank you so much for the
Thank you.
opportunity to talk.
I'll see you
Thank
guys
you.
next week.
Yep.
Yep. Yep. See you next
Y'all
week.
have a great evening.
Thank
You
you.
too, thank you.
Y'all watch
Y'all
those
be
police
careful.
officers, okay?
Ma'am?
I said, watch the police officers, okay?
Yes, ma'am, I listened to his report. I had no idea. That's crime. Wow. Impressive, very impressive, Chief.
Again, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we'll move to number 10, discuss and possible action to approve resolution number 2025-0902 to apply for the 2026 Southwestern Oklahoma Development Authority Rural Economic Action Plan, REAP, grant for fire truck. Irma?
So Clyde is here right now. So as soon as we close up everything else that we got going on, I want to apply for assistance in getting a fire truck for the fire department. I think that will help out our budget significantly, because we put that in there at the very last minute. So when Clyde told me that that would be available, I was like, it's mine. I want it. I want to apply for it, and I want to stand in the newspaper with Mr. Bush saying, we got this fire truck, if you guys allow me to apply for it.
I'll make the motion to approve and to apply for the 2026 grant.
I'll second it. Huckabee,
Yes.
Hammond,
Yes.
Pooley,
Yes.
Golden, yes.
Thank you. I have a lot of work ahead of me, but
And just-
me and Clyde, we're gonna get it done.
Just so the audience knows that we have to finish one grant before we can start another one. So
Correct.
that's what we're trying to do.
Yes, that is correct. Correct, Clyde? There you go.
What are we working on now? We was working on the line out the sewer. Okay. And we finished that up. This will be $125,000 grant if awarded, and it'll probably, last year it was in January before we knew the status from the state of Oklahoma. Department of Commerce. So the city, and everyone knows, the city would be responsible for anything above the 125.
Yes. So,
And what numbers are we looking at over 125?
well, we had budgeted 215,000 because those were that was the less of the quotes that we had at budget time. So, I'm sure our chief, he's got some paperwork ready for me to turn in, with the paperwork to Clyde, probably tomorrow. And so, I think it's less than that now.
Okay.
But $125,000 will take us a long ways. It's $125,000 out of the $215,000 we had budgeted for them. And yes, the lagoon project has been open and going on for years now.
I don't want to get too far into that because I believe that's actually on the agenda later on.
Yeah.
So-
And so now that we're wrapping stuff up, we can move forward.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Number 11, discuss and possible action of approving the quote from Next Phase in regards to the fire department roof that was not covered under the city's past insurance claim. Chief Gamble.
I'm assuming everybody has a quote in their packet from Next Phase. The roof to be totally repaired, or replaced, actually. We've got a quote of $77,461.89. That's pretty much it. It just needs to be replaced. I mean, it's still actively leaking. Guys from Next Phase have come down, made temporary repairs on the roof, but the roof is just in such bad shape due to all the hail that it's just, we can't get it to quit leaking. So,
We don't have insurance to pay that.
so I don't really know how to answer that. We do have insurance, but I think it's further down in the deals when they're gonna discuss that.
Is that the only quote you got was Next Phase, or is that the
Mhm.
cheapest one?
No, that's the only quote that I had.
You had previously declared an emergency, which kind of,
Can we come back to this line item after I talk about the insurance one?
we can if that would be better.
Okay. We'll come back to this one when I'm
Okay.
done talking about the other one. So what do we do? Table it for a second?
Which item do we need to discuss first?
The one regarding the insurance.
Is that item 12?
It's 20.
Yeah, it's all the way down the bottom.
Okay, so what we just need to do is we just need to just go to item 12 for now. We'll just take it out of order. We'll do 12. But can you do 12 without talking about 20 first?
Probably not.
Okay. And 13 the same thing, right?
13 is completely.
13's totally different.
Okay, so we need to go down to 13 and do item 13.
Okay, item 13, discuss some possible action for two different quotes from CF Heat and Air in regards to the best option for the fire department's heating and cooling system. Chief Gamble.
All right, so we have 3 different heating and air units central heating and air units in the fire department. 2 of those units are failing every year. We have to have somebody come in, work, whether it's recharge them, blower motor, whatever. We were able to salvage 2 of the newer air conditioning units off of the Welcome Center, and we have those. So we were going to put them in. We got one quote from CNF, and it is for $4,200, and that is to install one of the central heat and air units on the fire department, which is we're gonna replace the one that needs it the worst first. The other one's going on the roof, so I haven't really had a chance to talk to Next Phase to see if we need to replace the one on the roof prior to the roof being repaired or after. That is, the 4,200 is just to install the one that we currently have from the Welcome Center. In order to totally replace it with a brand new one, it is 12,500.
Now, that's brand new.
That is brand new. To install, it's gonna be $4,200, and those units were from 2022. So they are very new, and they were in working condition whenever we took them out. So- No, $4,200 to move the ones from the Welcome Center and install them into the fire department. And then it's 12,500 for buying the exact same ones that we already have to put in there.
And the one at the Welcome, it's just one at the Welcome
No,
Center?
we have two.
There's two.
There was two that we
Two.
got off of the Welcome Center,
Okay,
and we have them over here in the shop.
okay.
So they're just.
But your other
sitting there.
question about the other one is whether or not to install it before you replace the roof.
Correct.
Okay.
We did ask them a lot of questions. Our clerk asked a lot of questions, and I think this is the best route to go.
And I can attest that the Welcome Center was freezing every day of my life. So they do work.
They do.
They would just not come with a warranty as opposed
Okay,
to
that
if
was
you
what I
were to
was
get
gonna
a new
ask.
one. And that's why I asked him to get a quote on a brand new one as well, because the used ones would not have a warranty.
So then, if you put the old ones in and you freeze, you can't complain.
I'm a big guy. I caught nature. I'm not gonna complain.
We need it in here.
Yeah.
I like to freeze too. We need it in here.
Okay.
Okay, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the quotes from CNF.
I'll second them.
Which one?
Yeah.
For the 4,200?
4,200.
Sorry.
Yeah, no.
4,200, I'm sorry.
Who seconded that one?
I did.
Okay.
Okay,
Huckabee?
so, am I getting this right? We have 3,
Mhm.
we've got 2, and what are we gonna do with the third one?
Probably limp it along until it quits.
Till it quits, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Huckabee?
Yes.
Hammond?
Yes.
Cooley?
Yes.
Golden?
Yes.
Okay. Item 14, discuss some possible action of accepting funding from the 80/20 grant the fire department has been awarded. Chief Gamble.
All right, so the fiscal year 80/20 grant from SWOTA, we have been awarded that grant. We just need for y'all to accept the money. It's, we were awarded $27,227.68. Of that money, we would spend 20% over that, which is $5,445.53. Total, it'd be $32,673.21. And of that money, we would get the $27,227.68 reimbursed to us.
I'll make a motion to accept the grant funding.
I'll second it. Huckabee?
Yes.
Hammond?
Yes.
Cooley?
Yes.
Golden?
Yes.
Okay, line 15, discuss and possible action of accepting funding from the SWOTA operational grant the fire department has been awarded. Chief Gamble.
All right, so this is our operational grant that we receive every year from the state. It is for $10,174.78. And it's basically the same thing as the last, we just need y'all to accept it.
Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we accept this $10,174.78 grant.
We have a second?
I'll second.
Huckabee?
Yes.
Hammond?
Yes.
Cooley,
Yes.
Golden.
Yes.
Okay. Line 16, discuss and possible action to amend the fiscal year of 2026 budget to add a safety training officer as highly recommended by the current underwriters of the city. Irma.
So everybody the board was here when we had the CompSource reps came down and told us that we had to do something different. Well, we had a walkthrough of all of our buildings and everything in it, and they went over everything to be sure that all of our employees are safe out there. After they went and did the walkthrough with Gordon, Mr. Lehman, they sent us a letter and said that we had 3 critical items on there that we needed to fix immediately or they wouldn't pick us up. That's been fixed. They gave us 30 days. It's been fixed. They highly recommend that we have a safety officer, a training officer, a safety training officer, or whatever we need to call it, hired and in place to train, to be sure that everybody is safe out there, that everybody is got their safety goggles, their hard hats, their departments are safe on a daily basis, you know, just everything that we need for our guys to not have an accident out there. The reason why they stated that we need somebody is because she said, if it looks like that right now, we need help out there on how the stuff out there looks. We had chemicals out with no labels, I think, what did we get, like a 30-page? Which we are also, we had 3 items that we had to have 30 days to complete, and we did. We got that, we got the letter back, everything is good with that. The rest of it, we have time to correct. I want to sit down and talk with our chief, our fire chief, and our accounts payable, because our fire extinguishers were there also, and I think we pay somebody to come down. I know we pay somebody to come and review those, so that was even on the list. So we need to all sit down together and make everything on that list to be in compliant today. They didn't give us a time frame, but she said we definitely need somebody, as much as she wanted it on the quickest agenda we could get it on. If not a special meeting, she wanted it on there. So we just have to make sure that we get it done, and that's, if we don't bring somebody on, they will come down and do it, and they will not give us a nice invoice at the end. And they won't do it just to come down here and do it. They'll be contracted to come down here and do it. And I think she said that they come down like quarterly. Before you go outside, you have to have this training done, you know, and just like you would, you know, physicals and everything else, they're recommending that we have. We just need to get it up to date, and we don't have a choice, really.
Do you have someone in mind to be the safety training officer?
I have brought it up, yes, I brought it up to one of our employees before, or one of our employees, and they do not want it. So.
Well, it'd be cheaper to get someone local than to have to bring somebody in, right? Like the company you were talking about.
The company that wants to come down here and do it is the one who wrote, they came down and did the walkthrough, and they sent it to the underwriters. They sent that letter and said, the city of Mangum needs this. And they're going to go off of that. If not, then they will not insure us.
Okay.
So if that company comes down, it is going to be a number we don't want to.
Right. Well, is there a way that you can go out and,
If you guys accept it, we'll just have to run an ad and
yes,
hire
that's what
somebody.
that's what I was getting at. I think that'd be the way to go.
Is that not something superintendents can take care of, is that this needs to be covered, this needs to?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So if we have a list, could they not take care of it with that?
When I spoke with the lady, and respectfully to anybody who works for us currently, because I don't want anybody to quit and leave me. I love each and every one of the employees that we have, but when we had the walkthrough, in a nice way, she mentioned, it shouldn't look like, we shouldn't have it like this. We have a superintendent and we have department heads, and it shouldn't, those areas should not look like that.
So we're gonna pay somebody to see that they do what they're supposed to, basically?
Well, I think if we leave it to the hands of who already we have in place in those areas, like she said, if we are already in the hot seat with our superintendent in place and our department heads in place, is it going to be done? Is what her question is. And her saying to us was, you already have a superintendent and department heads in place and it looks like this. You need help,
Okay.
basically.
Discuss this with all of them?
Yes, we've all, they all knew, everybody knows.
So the best thing to do is for us to make a motion that we try
The
to get
best thing
someone.
to do right now, because we don't have other options, because
Okay.
when she spoke with us the last time, she said, this is your only option,
Yeah.
are those people to pick you up and insure. And if we say, oh, we're gonna leave it up to who we currently have in place, and then it doesn't meet to their standards,
Then that's,
they're.
Which it hasn't met their standards up to this point.
Yes.
but we could go out and ask for people, when you go out and ask people what they want, jobs and things like that, it goes outside of Oklahoma or just,
Well,
Where does it go?
we'll run an ad
Yeah.
wherever, but yeah, we usually run locally, because of course we wanna try to get our local people to come and work for us, but
well, what's the
yes,
second?
we're going to have to think outside the box on this
Yeah.
one and where we're gonna
Yeah.
advertise.
Well, I make a motion that we put this together, which would be best for the city.
I would
And you guys-
really, really love if one of our guys did it, and, but.
I can
And
understand that.
they might, if we say yes today and we add that in as a line item, one of these guys might apply and say, hey, Gordon wants to be the training officer, the safety officer, and get us, back to where we need to be. But her concern more was, it should have already been done.
Yeah. Well, can we,
Yes.
Which most big companies, they do have a safety program, or safety director that goes.
well, do we want to make a motion to go local with putting ads in the paper to see if we can get people even in the city, and then give it a couple of weeks or so, and if not, then go outside of Madigan?
Yeah.
What do you
Yeah,
think,
we
Michelle?
can advertise locally and then go from there, but it is adding another, person in the budget, and that's.
Well,
All right, but we do have a motion.
I'll second.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Hammond,
Yes.
Pooley,
yes.
Golden.
Yes.
Okay, line 17, discuss and possible action to approve the City of Mangum hosting the first Halloween Fest tentatively on October 25th, 2025. City Manager Irma.
So last year, I said, when I first came in as interim and we passed out candy for the first time, it was the saddest thing. I believe the police department was there. We had just a few people come through. Last year, we worked on it so much more, and we all got involved in it, and this whole area was so busy last year. And our newspaper guy, I just say newspaper guy, but Mr. Bush helped and put things in the paper and helped advertise for us, and it was very, very busy last year. So we all talked about it last year, all of us. We were so excited. We said, let's go bigger. Let's go bigger and let's all get together and make this whole block where the kids have somewhere to go and something to do.
We do the square, because we had a lot on the square.
We want to start from the school on right around this way because we're around the courthouse, the sheriff's, and going back to J&P's. So kind of like
An L
an L, yeah.
is how I put it. An upside down L if you look at it like this.
We are. If we get told yes today, we have a plan. We're gonna get a flyer together. We're gonna invite county EMS churches to all kind of come this way. My guys will all be involved and included this year. We've talked about, Chief Gamble, talked with somebody about getting a bouncy house right here in the front. Commissioner Golden talked about,
A hayride.
Hay rides, donating hay rides. Mrs. Kendall is gonna shoot us some ideas. She brought up some ideas last year. So she's got some ideas also.
And that's on the 25th, right?
We're doing it on the 25th because somebody said there's a game
The
on
30th, Halloween, there's a
Yeah.
game, so
Yeah.
that's why it was tentatively the Saturday before, so everybody can, because nobody's gonna go to trunk or treat if there's a high school game.
And a lot of times the junior class puts their Halloween con.
We are talking about even, asking the band to start and having a parade. We wanna have my guys don't know much of it yet, but they're dressing up and we're gonna start in the parade. We talked about people bringing their pets dressed up in the parade, so starting from there, kind of just going, whoever else wants to dress up, the newspaper, the hospital, whoever, we want them involved in the parade. I say something more for the community to look forward to each year, and I know we started late because we had a previous employee working on it, so we're gonna get it done though. Somebody talked about donating hot dogs, the hot dogs and the hamburger buns and drinks, just so people can have something to look forward to besides sitting at home being mad at each other all the time. Somewhere where people can come back out and say hello to each other and get involved and get your pets involved and your families involved. And the kids have somewhere safe to go to right around this area. So we want to start here and go all the way around. Invite the churches. We want to invite Loves and, you know, the pharmacy and whoever. So we did want to say though, it's not going to be with the city funds. Right now, everybody is donating the hay rides and the bouncy house and the drinks and that kind of stuff.
We have a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second. Huckabee,
Yes.
Hammond,
Yes.
Hoy,
Yes.
Golden.
Yes.
I'm gonna make it big.
Okay, line 18, discuss and possible action on Aaron Kendall requesting to purchase 4 tracts of land in the northwest, section 4 of the northeast of section 4 of 27-5N, 22 WIN, with such tracts being part of the old railroad right-of-way running adjacent to the south side of Taft Street, also known as Tebow property.
So we were contacted from Mr. Kendall, not our Mr. Kendall, but about possibly selling property there. He came up here twice and I think he called, but they're not here. We don't have it for sale, but I think he wanted to talk to the board about possibly listing it.
Is this the land where
Belongs
the,
to the city?
Yes.
Belongs to the city.
Yes.
is this where the Quonset barn was put up? Okay.
So across from the recycle? Okay.
Yeah, straight west of it, okay. Okay.
So,
Well, you didn't show up, we wait till next time.
didn't show up, so.
So do we need
No
to
action.
do anything?
No action.
Just no action? Okay. Okay, line 18, or 19. Discuss and updates from Michael Bridges with next phase in relation to the hail damage repair for the roofs of the various municipal owning buildings.
I want to just let Blake talk. He's the owner of the company, so I met you guys last time when we I believe it was a few months ago, or maybe about a month ago. Blake's been working tirelessly on the update. We've been going through every single building, and so I've been kind of spearheading the insurance side of this. So kind of how this whole thing works is you guys, everyone here has probably been affected by the hailstorm, so you get the line item estimate back from the insurance company that's on that standardized software program. OMAG uses the exact same thing. So what that is somebody implements like how many square footage of roofing, what type of roofing, what's underneath the roof, how many linear feet of gutters, trim. Every single component gets broken down and is set in that standardized price. And that's how you guys came up with the initial estimate of like $564,000, something in that range. What we've done is we've gone through that same software and then we've rewritten the estimate, going building by building, but making sure that all of the correct line items are in there. And right now the estimate's at, I think, 1.8 and some change. That is subject to certain like coverage restraints. You know, there might be something that's excluded, or like the firehouse that was paid for in prior claim, you know, things like that we can't do anything about. But everything else, what we're able to ultimately give them is a big report that has all of the building codes. It takes each one of the buildings and it explains, you know, there's an extra large trim on this side, there's a gutter on another side, there's an extra large ridge, so on and so forth, and that just breaks down building by building by building. And what we're able to do is we're able to then supply the adjusters from OMAG, one, the estimate that's line itemed out, and then two, the report that substantiates each one of those line items and justifies the changes. We think that's a better route to go because it avoids the clash of heads and the fighting. It would have been a lot quicker if we just say, yeah, here's an estimate for 1.8, but we would much rather be able to say, here's the estimate for 1.8, here's yours that your independent adjuster wrote up for 564, and these are the reasons why we have all the changes and differences between them. Notably, they left off the street barn garage, the animal control building, an additional hangar, the city power plant, the water softening plant, and the pool building. Those were completely omitted from the estimate. And one of the big reasons why I believe they were omitted is any of them that had metal roofing have what's called a metal roof exclusion on them. You guys may have, we have this on the churches that we're doing in town. You guys have them on your homes. It's a very common thing in the insurance world. And what it means is for them to pay for the replacement of a metal roof, it must be functionally damaged. And the concept behind this exclusion was to prevent people from filing a claim where just a very small dent, you know, impacts the metal and it's very cosmetic. In this particular case, you had huge hail, but we needed to prove that it had a functional damage to it. So what we do, in essence, is we take the panels where they're seamed together and we identify the locations where the hail hit the seam, split it open. We like to use the methodology of putting like a business card underneath it. And if it slides underneath in that area where it's impacted, then we can, you know, determine that it's been functionally impacted. Where that would be a concern down the road for somebody operating the building is we get snow, we get ice, we get something that builds up. Now that the hail's opened it, water's able to get in. It's not necessarily a discredit to OMAG. They're sitting in an office in Oklahoma City. Your adjuster, Justin McGavick, is. He hires out an independent adjusting firm. This guy might be adjusting the city one day, Meridian Claims, their third party, might be adjusting the city one day, then they're going to a house, and they're going to a trailer, then they might be going to a church, and they might be going to an apartment complex. They have a lot of things on their agenda, and they tend to go through these things pretty quickly. Without us being there for that initial first meeting, we're left with having to rebuild their estimate, and for us to go back to them and say, you missed, our estimate's 3 times greater than yours. And it's not that we're just picking a number out of thin air, it's that we're substantiating it with these line items. We feel like we really need to go with them with a lot of ammunition. And that's what these reports are. We have completed it, we've completed the estimate. They got finished on like their 4th round of revisions last week. We have a good relationship with OMAG. They've called us to be on their podcast. We've been kind of an outside resource to them on roofing things. And Michael has a mutual event with them next week. And rather than just emailing this document over to them, We're going to set up a meeting at OMAG where we can meet with our contact in the risk management department, the adjuster that's assigned to the city's case, and go through this in person to avoid kind of an adversarial nature of just sending a cold email, that's kind of calling them out for missing a lot of things. And that's our next step. We should have that meeting set up for within the next 2 weeks, and we will go to them, we'll present it, we'll justify everything. There might be an additional meeting out on site, but we think that'll lead to obviously a way bigger win for the city because there's gonna be a lot more coverage. And that's sort of what we've been working on since you guys approved us to do that, and we're happy with where it's at. We certainly have some questions as to why they left 6 buildings off. My light assumption and looking at things with the glass half full is that they needed somebody to show them that they were cosmetically damaged. But if it's something like it was paid for on a prior claim and not placed, like the fire building was, that we can't do anything about. But it's, no matter which way you slice and dice it, it's gonna be a, substantial win. And that's kind of where it's at.
Okay. Anybody have anything? No. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Do you guys want me to touch on the fire building too? Because I know that's a different agenda item. I don't know if that's in order or not, but I might be able to shed a little light on that situation.
When we go back up. we
we're
can talk
fixing
about
to,
it.
aren't
Yeah,
we?
we're gonna go back up and then explain why they're here.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going back to 11 now?
We're gonna go to 20, talk about
21st,
that, and then we'll
okay.
go back up.
Okay. Discuss some possible action to accept the first supplement claim payment in the amount of $500,000, 328 cents for the roof damage that occurred on April 28, 2025 at multiple city locations.
So I'm gonna make a correction on line item number 20. Like they said, they've said it's 583,328.38 total for everything. So the first payment was 170-something thousand, I think, right? So we need to accept that first payment of 170. I don't have it in front of me. I was like, was it on there?
It's on the.
Yeah, the bottom one. The first payment is gonna be $185,903.27. That's the first payment out of the 583,328.38 total.
But is this the difference in the 1.8 and some change?
When we get back up there, I'll talk about that part.
Okay, because I kind of feel like if you accept this, then you kind of know that.
Well, I do want to say that I had to call OMAG and tell them they're out here, they've talked, this number that you're giving me doesn't match up to that number, and they did say if next phase, when they get with them and they sit down and talk, if it's more than what they said, they will work something out. And if they said 583,000 right now and they're saying 1.2 million, then they'll work it out. My main thing was, I don't want to sign off on this and then we're done.
Right, that's
Yes.
what, yeah, go ahead.
That was
Yes.
the recommendation I was gonna make, ma'am.
Yes.
That proof of loss, I'm not an attorney, but I've seen
Correct.
enough of these insurance claims. That sworn proof of loss would be, in my opinion, very detrimental to the city because you're sort of committing to that initial damage report as being accurate. I think you just let that dog lie, let us meet with them, and then ideally what'll happen is we'll kind of come to some agreement and say our 1.8 turns out to 1.6 because there's some coverage disputes or something like that. Then when you get that proof of loss and we're all kind of on the same page, then it's safe to sign off on.
Right.
We would be going way backwards if it got signed off now, so I think it's prudent that that hasn't been done yet.
We have not, because we can't do it without their permission, but when I called them, they said if they're saying that it's a different number, then they have to get with Next Phase and talk with them. And so that's why they're here updating, because we dealt with this 2 months ago and my guys still have a major problem going on.
Yeah.
And again, the safety of the guys right now, of all of us, need to be priority.
Okay. So we need a
Sign off on
motion to decline.
I'd just
the-
take no action.
Just no
That's what I
action.
said, just take no
it
action.
until next phase gets with.
Okay. So do we go to 21 now, or just keep,
We're
or
gonna go to.
11.
back to 11?
Back to 11,
Okay.
yes. Does you have to read it again?
No.
Okay.
So, back to line item number 11, when Chief Gamble said, hey, we've had it patched up, we've had this, we have a problem. He showed me the pictures, he sent me, what it looked like over there, and I said, what are we not doing? Why have we not gotten it fixed? We've worked with the insurance, and that's when, next phase came, and I think you called, and he said, the reason why is they left buildings out. If you sign off on this 500 and something thousand, they have a $1 million number versus our number. And so I said, I need these guys safe, so what do we have to pay to get their building fixed? So that's
I've
what I
got
thought.
one phone if I.
Mhm.
So on the fire building, we're kind of in a rock and a hard place there. That building was, frankly putting, that building was paid for on a prior claim, is what we learned. So effectively, OMAG's like, well, we're not gonna pay for it twice. What I can try to do, I don't have access to that prior claim document. I don't know how many years back it was. I think it was before this gentleman, and certainly this lady's tenure here. But if I could get the claim paperwork, what I might be able to do is I might be able to say, well, it was incredibly insufficient, meaning that you may have paid for it in 2012, but you only pay for the line items for the top layer. You forgot all the insulation, you forgot the metal, so perhaps we can justify some amount of money towards it. When Chief called me, this is what we're dealing with. You just have so many holes. These are all patches that we've made. We've made like 3 or 4 efforts over there to try to keep them dry, but the roof tilts to a certain area, and there's just, the hill is too big, there's too many holes. So we gave them kind of the best quote we possibly could. Unfortunately, I would have liked to, in these situations, just gone over the top roof, but since it's so saturated with water, everything needs to get torn off, which triggers the building code for insulation to go down, which triggers the building code for tapered insulation to go down, to properly slope the water, and then to put a 20-year warranty roof system on it. The issue, again, is it was paid for at a prior time, so it was omitted from the claim originally, and it's not included within our 1.8 estimate. That is effectively paid for before to the city, but we don't know how well they paid for it. There might be a chance that we can recuperate, some funds on it. I don't know how much, but yeah.
My problem is that while the insurance in the next phase is going back and forth, my guys are not in a safe area. If they've got water all over the floor and they get called out in the middle of the night to go fight a fire and it's all wet, they're not gonna stay up all night to mop it up every time it rains. So I said, why have we not done anything? Why is it not being repaired? And that's why next phase was here. So we either need to get it repaired and know that it's not under the insurance, because that was way before any of us were here. They need to be safe. So we either need to get it paid and pay them to fix it as quick as they can, and we keep fighting with the insurance, or they keep fighting with the insurance, or they go back and forth, or something.
If we decide to pay and start getting it worked on, does that, like your negotiations right now with them, does that?
Good question, sir. It won't impact anything at all,
Okay.
because since they've paid for it on the front side, everything that's superficial that you can see with your eyes is 100% already gonna be accounted for in the prior claim. What we will be able to do is during the tear off and during the re-roof process, document everything that goes back, put tape measures next to the insulation to show the thickness of the slope of the insulation. Anything code related, which I guarantee you they left out on the initial one. That way we can try to go back to them on that. I wouldn't, hang my hat on it, because I don't know how old the claim is, and I don't know what OMAG's statute of limitations for recuperating additional cost on an old claim would be, but perhaps we get a friendly shake out of them. But it wouldn't impact anything at all, because the damage is there, they've already agreed to it, it's damaged again. The photos are so demonstrable that it wouldn't impact it, no, sir.
One way to also look at it is y'all budgeted $215,000 for a fire truck. Granted, you haven't got the REAP grant yet, but if you do get the REAP grant, that's excess money could help cover or offset these costs.
And either way, $583,000 is what our insurance is gonna cover for the other buildings, whether we replace them or fix them or we don't. Some of those are for windows, some of those are for, like you said, street, any of these buildings. If we have to, the main thing is we need to get it repaired.
It'd
Nobody
be like,
sleeps in my street barn.
Be like the
Nobody
Welcome
sleeps
Center.
in the electric area.
That's my
neglect
biggest
it.
concern is I don't want it to end up like the one.
that's what,
Correct.
yeah, if we
Yes.
neglect it and keep putting it off,
Yes.
it's gonna be the Welcome Center.
And I could throw this point out, she brings up a good thought there. There are a lot of like metal structures, call it like the hangar as an example, that is just, it does have functional damage to it. I don't disagree with that, but I think there's certain non-livable
Yeah.
areas that we could probably put on the back burner to be replaced once something worse happens, if that becomes something you guys, decide to do in order to take care of a more immediate necessity. And I will say, the fire building is you just see the pictures, the holes are, I don't know if this will zoom, it won't, but the holes are like, they're huge, and there's hundreds, if not 1,000 of them. My fear on that building, and I don't have this budgeted in our quote because we try to just be as skinny as possible, is that more water getting into it is going to deteriorate and rust the deck, and that'll just become more unforeseen issues. That building is in bad shape.
Do we have possible action or a motion?
That sounds like we need to get this done to save the buildings themselves, do we not? I'll make a motion that he starts tomorrow. No, I'm kidding, I'm kidding. But yeah, it needs to be worked on.
I'll second.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Hammond,
Yes.
Cooley,
Yes.
Golden. Yes.
Now, 12, is that, okay. Discuss possible action to review and accept the best quote in regards to the fire department windows replacements to be paid by the city insurance claim from the building damages that occurred on April 28, 2025. Chief Gamble.
All right, so I got majority of all our southern facing windows at the fire department have got some sort of damage, whether it's a single pane that's busted out or whether all of them have been busted out. We've got duct tape on a lot of stuff, just kind of holding things together, trying to keep water out. Had a couple of quotes here. There's Commercial Glass. They are out of Norman, Oklahoma. Their quote was for $76,800 to replace all the windows within the fire department. And then I have another quote here from Slayton Construction here out of Mangum, and it is for $37,400. That is to replace all the windows at the fire department as well.
But that's not, was the insurance not covered? Is that not included?
I don't really know, because I don't know where they're at in the insurance process. I'm giving information that I've got here, and
And when you say all the windows, are these just the broken ones or all of them?
no, that was a quote to replace all of them.
Okay.
Right, because
Now,
I
we
believe
can-
the libraries got broken, or had
Yes,
broken windows, the
yes.
museum has broken windows.
Whenever I had the Commercial Glass, when they came down, they actually went over to the library. And as far as I know, Joseph, you never got a quote back, correct? I called them a couple of weeks ago and asked them if they had sent it. They said they were gonna get it to me. I never got it, so.
Blake, yeah, can you?
Commercial Glass, we referred them you know, to you guys, there's somebody we deal with a lot in the city, we deal with them on, we do Bank First, and we deal with them there, and had a good relationship with them. When this thing came up, it was me or Michael, somebody recommended him to the chief. What we needed to have done was we needed commercial glass if they were, or whoever, you guys were ultimately gonna use on the windows, to go to each and every one of the buildings and determine what was damaged by the hail and get a quote and estimate together for it so that we could then supply it over to the insurance. And I think there was just a miscommunication happened because I called Jim with commercial glass on the way down here because I had a feeling this might come up and I wanted to be able to speak to it accurately. And he thought he said he got the quote over for the fire department, but he held off on everything else because he wasn't sure what he was supposed to look at. And what I would suggest happening, whether it's him or anybody else, is let's get them, and I can do this, get them the list of all the buildings, have them go through all of them, just go north, south, east, west, and say X amount of buildings on each side, write it up an estimate, get it to us, we'll get it to the insurance, and get it approved. I can say with, a relative degree of certainty that any sort of like temporary work or any board up or any like immediate glass repairs could probably get approved by your adjuster with a quick call from the city manager saying this is damage, can we get a temporary approved? But ultimately, I think it would be in the city's best interest to take one of those quotes, as long as they're comprehensive and encompassing of all the damage, and let's get it sent to the insurance, even independent of the stuff from the roofs. And as long as hail hit it, it should be paid for.
We did submit everything, that's the first thing we did the next day after the storm, is we took an inventory of everything. Each department got an inventory of everything and sent it in to the insurance company.
I believe OMAG said, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
It's okay. I said, we were talking about the same things over and over, month after month. We need to get it done, and that's it. I told Next Phase team my frustration last week. I said, everybody was calling me the next day after the storm and said, hey, we're gonna help you, and here we are 2 months later. My guys are constantly wet. Everybody's calling me and saying my windows are still broken. So we need to move forward and find somebody who's going to do these windows and who's going to do these roofs. Because, we're repeating, sending in an inventory again to OMAG and over here and over here. We need to get it done.
So on the fire department, even if we don't replace all of the windows, I haven't had anybody come out that said they could just replace what was broken and make everything kind of match. Because at the end of the day, we still want it to be functional but aesthetically pleasing as you're driving by. We're doing work every day trying to clean up and make it look better. We don't want to just slap lipstick on a pig, but.
My safety officer could have done it.
There are 36 windows total. Even if we just did everything that's on the south side, that's still like 22 windows. And I believe with commercial glass, it was going to be a little over $2,000 per window. Of course, they're coming out of Norman, so they're going to have hotel stay, they're going to have equipment rental, everything else. That's kind of why they're a little higher. It's not going to be a one-day job. Deal with Slayton on his bid. He's local. He's worked a deal out with Ace down here to purchase the windows. It generates tax revenue for the county. I don't really care either way. I just like them to get fixed.
Good.
Do we have a motion for possible action?
I'll make a motion to accept the quote from Slayton Construction.
I'd prefer to keep it local too, so I'll second that.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Hammond,
Yes.
Cooley,
Yes.
Golden.
Yes.
Okay, line 21, discuss and possible action
to approve payment application number 1 for the period ending July 31st, 2025 in the amount of $290,462.50 to Koontz Roofing for the replacement and repair of the Mangum Regional Medical Center in accordance with the owner-contractor agreement approved on June 2nd, 2025. The payment should be out of insurance proceeds received in relations to the roof repair and should not impact the municipal budget. Corey?
Kelly's actually here too, so if he wants to add something, I was gonna let him. But basically, we approved to go in and hire Koontz Roofing to replace the Mangum Regional Medical Center roof. This was a payment, the first payment application for basically half of the project. This came in late July, and so it just barely missed our August meeting, so we went ahead and put it on here. So this just needs to be approved, and like I said, it should be paid out of the insurance proceeds, so it should be no additional cost to the city.
We have a motion to approve payment application number 1.
I'll make a motion to approve payment application number 1.
I'll second it.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Hammond,
Yes.
Cooley,
Yes.
Golden.
Yes.
Okay, 22, discuss and possible action to approve sending Officer Lowry to the basic FTO certification program in War Acres, Oklahoma, and authorizing the use of the administration credit card for the hotel stay and per diem per policy.
Good evening, afternoon, whatever time of day it is. We've determined that our FTO system is the San Jose system, is the one we've been using since I've been here. FTO training is very important. For those of you that don't know, a good FTO program helps us keep the city from getting in trouble. We would like to send him there because that'll give us an extra instructor, and we're going to be hiring, hopefully, eventually, 2 more officers. And that'll be 2 more that are going to have to go through training. And we would love to have an additional instructor to take a little bit of the load off. It's going to be $425 for the class, and it's going to be, if you, did we email them the packet with the hotel stuff?
Not the hotel stuff, but just the packet.
The hotel's going to be,
$105 per night for 3 nights. $105 a night for 3 nights.
yes, $105 a night for 3 nights. Another thing that I'd like to make sure that we include in this is, they're going to be staying somewhere where it's a little bit more expensive to eat. We have to have enough per diem in there for them to be able to eat. Okay, it's just one of those things. So that's all I have. Thank you.
We have motion.
I make the motion that we take care of that. Approve sending just Officer Lowry for this go-around?
Yes.
Okay. That we've sent him to basic certification program in War Acres.
Second.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Hammond,
Yes.
Cooley.
Yes.
Golden.
Yes.
Okay, 23, discuss and possible action to approve invoice 223009-11 to Myers Engineering for wastewater improvement project in the amount of $6,205.70.
5 years.
That is his last payment for the wastewater line project out there, and it will come out of the REAP funds, grant funds.
I'll make a motion to approve invoice 223309-11.
I'll second it.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Hammond,
Yes.
Cooley,
Yes.
Golden.
Yes.
Okay, line 24, discuss and possible action to approve contractor's application for final payment for grade work construction, Mangum Wastewater Discharge Improvements Project, ODOC contract, or grant construct 18860 CDBG 22 in the amount of $30,384.10.
This is, as it says, final payment. The funds will come from the REAP and CDBG grants.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll sec-
Okay,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, you go ahead.
We'll second it.
Okay.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Hammond,
Yes.
Pooley,
Yes.
Golden, yes.
Okay. 25, discuss a possible action to approve SWOTA invoice 5243 in the amount of $4,920 for CDBG grant administrative work, Mangum wastewater discharge improvements.
Okay, that's SWOTA's final invoice. That's for, helping you with the grant. It'll come out of the CDBG funds, grant funds.
So that will get paid from funds as well? Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the SWOTA invoice.
Go for it.
Oh, I'll second it.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Hammond,
Yes.
Pooley.
Yes.
Golden, yes.
26, discuss and possible approval of the closeout resolution for the Community Development Block Grant for the wastewater outfall main line at the wastewater lagoon site, contract 18860 CDBG 22.
Okay, this is just approving the grant that the project is complete.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Yes.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Hammond,
Yes.
Pooley,
Yes.
Golden, yes.
27, discuss and possible action of approving the CDBG construction contact closeout form.
Okay, this is just a form that we have. We asked for a signature on it to submit with your closeout contracts to the Department of Commerce.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
I'll second it.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Hammond,
Yes.
Pooley,
Yes.
Golden, yes.
Discussion and possible action to approve reimbursement payment by direct deposit made to the City of Mangum by ODOT in the amount of $2,967 for the payment of invoice number 224016-8 to Myers Engineering for water line relocation on State Highway 283.
That's the project out there at the brick plant, the middle person, so.
I'll make a motion to approve reimbursement payment.
I'll second it.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Hammond,
Yes.
Pooley,
Yes.
Golden, yes.
Okay. Remarks or inquiries by the governing body members, city manager, city attorney, or city employees?
I will say one thing about the wastewater discharge project. That project, even though I think Clyde had only been involved in it there towards the end of it, last, I think, 2 years or so, we've been dealing with that since about 2017. We was getting DEQ consent order after consent order. And so I am very glad that that was one of the projects we finally got off the bucket list, because it's been something we've dealt with DEQ on for the last 8 years. So y'all should pat yourselves on the back for being able to finally put the end to that issue. So.
And I want to thank Clyde for having to come down here all the time and sit through these.
Clyde is so patient with us, I'll tell you that.
Thank you. Okay, new business, discussion and possible action on any new business which has arisen since the posting of the agenda that could not have been reasonably foreseen prior to the time of posting.
And this is why Kelly's here, is to remind me to do this. After we got the agenda posted, we had pay application 2, which if I understand it correctly, it's the final pay application.
No, there's another one.
There's gonna be another one?
Take the metal off.
Okay.
Because it's not on site. Since
Okay.
the metal wasn't on site, we're not paying for it.
Okay, so we got one, so we have one more after this.
Yes, sir.
But I believe that the roof project is basically finished.
They're finishing the metal this week.
So, I mean, again, talking about other, Kelly worked out there for many years before he came back, and he can attest as well as I can, as another project that has been a thorn in our sides for many, many years, so congratulations on getting that project done. So y'all are just getting all sorts of stuff taken care
I
of.
love it because it's a lot cooler in the hospital. You move from a 1/2 inch insulation to 13 inches in some places, 13 and a half, and the minimum of 3.5. Yeah, so
But
it's-
Nice.
pay application number 2 is $185,250. And that, again, will come out of the insurance proceeds, and that will leave, I believe, $87,000 as what would be owing on that project. So if you go ahead and approve pay application number 2, that way we can get the contractor paid.
We have a motion to approve pay number 2.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Cooley, I'm
Yes.
sorry, Hammond,
Yes.
Golden.
Was that me? Okay, yes.
I was writing Cooley.
That's the only new business I have.
So,
I'll
we,
make a motion to adjourn.
I was gonna do it too. Yes, second it.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Hammond,
yes.
Cooley,
Yes.
Golden.
Yes.
Thank you guys for coming. Appreciate it.